Will Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley turn this defense around? Now, this is also about if they have the pieces, but
Uh-huh.
sort of like how I'm kind of wondering if Kyle is just like licking his chops to just we explain the scenario not having a true wide receiver one and moving George around, using Christian, figuring out something for Cowing. I wonder if Kyle's just the offensive football mind of Kyle's like, okay, I know I can figure this out. And we're going to we're going to do better than people think. I wonder
Mhm.
defensively, Saleh and Bradley have some ideas because the run defense has been pretty porous in the last 2 years. We've
Mhm.
talked about the Bosa and pass rush situations. And then now we've got this secondary issue in the safety spots with just unproven players. Like, how much of it is Saleh and Bradley together with just putting their heads together and figuring things out? Like, how much can coaches actually improve stuff like this, even if the player personnel is a little bit lacking?
Think that there is, depending on, I'm about to go to the top of the food chain. Belichick was always able to take, you know, guys and put together a solid defense, even when they were bad in his last two seasons as head coach with the Patriots. The defense was good. With Christian Gonzales, Matthew Judon, and a bunch of dudes. I mean, literally just a bunch of dudes. So he was able to scheme up. Um, I in secondhand knowledge, week to week, the game plans were completely different, and he was able to make that work. So I don't think it's crazy for them to be better than Nick Sorensen and my guy was. I already got his name. Brandon. Brandon Staley. Um, I think that that's a win. Gus Bradley and Salah are greater than Nick Sorensen and Brandon Staley. To what end? I don't know that you can take the 29 defense in scoring um, and make them a 17 point a game unit. I don't, I, you know, but I think they could probably make them more competent. And I'm sure from Kyle's standpoint that he can basically, you got two, to whatever extent you want to say successful as head coaches. You got two head coaches over there. So I'm assuming he'll just be able to let them do their thing over there and not have to concern himself as much with it. It sounds like he's worked with both those dudes before, and
Mhm.
sounds like he has a real high level of trust with them. um so he can focus on the offense, and they can basically you know do their thing over there. So I think it will be better, and that they will. I trust that they'll be able, if anybody's going to get more out of this collection of pieces, I would think they would be able to. I just don't know where that leaves us. I mean, I'm
Right.
sure it'll be better than 29. If we can stay healthy, obviously that is, it goes without saying with everything. Health, everybody has to. Everybody. Everybody's not going to be healthy because that's just not how it works. We can't have any major injuries. Um, But if we can keep the the core players, if Lenore is healthy, if Warner's healthy, if um Nick is healthy, um, and we can get anything out of these rookies, I would imagine if we could be middle of the road, I would think that would be a win. I would think Kyle would feel good about
Mhm.
our chances with his offense if we were 15, 16, 17 in points allowed. And that's asking a lot to go from 29th to low high teens. Is that's no small feat. And if they were able to do that, um, one or both of these shoes. That's the other thing is, if I can't imagine, I know I'd have to imagine since how hard he went after coaching jobs this cycle, that Saleh doesn't see himself as Spags. I
Right.
don't think he sees himself as a career defensive coordinator. So if they're able to turn this thing around quick, I would imagine that he'd be kind of trying to go pretty hard after um, another head coaching gig, which may be why Gus Bradley is here. I don't know. I
Right.
have
Right.
no insight on that, but it would stand to reason. So yes, I hope they can. I don't know if they can, but I hope they're able to.